Welcome to The Balancing Act with your host, self-care strategist, speaker, author, and president of Divine Potential Services, Sierra Claire. She is a wife and mom who is on a mission to activate women to be authentic, balanced, and free to relentlessly pursue their purpose.
Hello and welcome once again to the Balancing Act with me, your self-care strategist. I am so blessed and honored to be back again with another amazing guest that you see here on the other side of my screen. We are so excited to finally have this opportunity and come together and just pour out and share our experiences of balance in life, business, and ministry while making self-care a priority, because that is what this show is all about. And so once again, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Sierra Hilaire. I am a certified self-care strategist, a wife, a mother of four. I am also the founder and president of Divine Potential Services. And my mission is basically to activate women to be authentic, balanced, and free to relentlessly pursue their purpose. And this is one of those platforms and by which I do that. And so before we get started, I just want to thank you again, Candra, for accepting the invitation. It is an honor and a blessing to be around you, to be in your presence. You have such a wealth of experience and knowledge. And so welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So just tell everyone a little bit about yourself and then we'll get started and go right into our questions.
Well, my name is Candra Ward. Thank you. First of all, thank you for having me. This is absolutely a pleasure. I'm looking forward to the conversation, and I pray that everybody that's listening gets what they need. So my name is Candra Ward, and I'm a certified life coach and book coach for moms. And I teach moms how to use their story and expertise and turn it into a book, a transformational book that helps others as well as helps them and their family. And I'm super excited about it. God has been shifting some things in me and within my business, moving me back towards moms, which I strayed away from for a while. So I'm excited about it. So thank you again for having me.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. That is so unique and different because there are a lot of people who help others write and publish books, but not many that look like us. That's teaching women how to not only empower themselves and create products, but also empower their children, which is their legacy, and create their own products and do it together. So I love that. I'm so excited to just talk a little more about how you are holding it down and keeping things together. So I'm going to go right into our first question, which is, how do you balance life, ministry, and business, baby, without burning out?
Woo, that's a packed and loaded question. All right. It is definitely a learning experience. I would say that. I remember, and I'm gonna just go back for a while. So I used to own a salon for 15 years back in Philadelphia from where I'm from. And I owned that. I was a single parent at the time. So I was a soccer mom. I was a salon owner. I was an usher. I did ministry at church. And it was a lot, but I wasn't overwhelmed and burnt out because my life was simplistic, believe it or not, running a brick and mortar business, doing my own books, all those things. Because back then I didn't know about like outsourcing and getting everybody else to do things for you. I was just pretty much doing it myself. But life was a little bit more simpler. But now I have an 8-year-old, 21 years later after my first. And life, it was simple at first, but then with everything happening in 2020, coming in a pandemic and having to be a teacher at home and just learning how to add new things in your life, my balancing that kind of got shifted because I used to be, well, let me speak as though they are. I am getting back to getting my balance together because I really don't believe in a perfect balance. I don't care what nobody says. When you have children, there is no perfect balance. I'm sorry. I maybe disagree with, but it's no perfect balance because things change all the time. But if you have something solidified, like on a schedule that you follow, then it's easier not to get too out of balance, but you're still going to get out of balance some kind of way.
Yes.
But for me, I would say right now, I am about 70-30 in my balancing act.
Okay.
But what I learned with that, and that's just being transparent, because, some people are like, oh, everything. No. I'm about 70-30. Okay. And that's good, because just last year I was 60-40. Okay.
Yes.
But in that, what I'm learning is to let things go.
Ooh, you better preach, Candra.
Because we add, especially women, like we like to juggle so much, and we add so many things to our plate. And years ago, when I had the salon and a little bit of time after that, I would think that being multitasked, that was a great thing. Oh, I could do it all. Well, listen, I don't want to do it all.
That part.
I don't want to do it all. So what I'm learning now is if it's not important, it can go on the to-do list on the bottom. It can go on the bottom of the to-do list.
Right.
So I put the most important things on top of the to-do list. And then I put with the way I schedule my things out, I wish I could show you my board, but the way I schedule my to-do list out, the things that has to get done that day or that week, that goes on top.
Yes.
The things that can wait, I mean, it's urgent, but it can kind of wait. It's not like life-threatening. It will go on either in the middle of the to-do list or the bottom.
Yes.
And every morning I get up, believe it or not, I have 3 whiteboards. I have a huge one because I have to write when I get my thoughts out. I have a huge one. Okay. I have a calendar one, and then I have a small one that I just put quick notes on. Right. Every morning when I get up, I check all 3.
Yes. Yes.
And sometimes I erase and write again.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, like God says in the word, every day we get up, he gives us brand new mercies. We're like new people every time we get up. So how I thought yesterday is not the same way I'm thinking today.
You better say
so what I threw on my to-do list yesterday may not be important today.
That part.
So that's why I get up and I check each one and see if I have to start all over again or not.
Yes.
So that's really what keeps me balanced. Learning how to answer in a nutshell, learning how to let some things go.
Yeah.
Because I'm a natural visionary.
Yes.
I'm a natural doer. Like I'm a natural problem solver. So if I see something like, oh, well, let me write a book on that.
Right.
Let me do that. And I know doggone well all that can't get done.
Right.
But in my brain yesterday or whatever, I'm like, I could do this. But then when I wake up with a fresh mind, I'm like, girl, you can't do that. And then I erase it off. So that's how I keep my balance.
I love it. I love it. You said something earlier. You said simplicity. And I truly believe like that is one of the keys to living a balanced life. There's so many benefits in the power of simplicity. I am one of those people that stick by this philosophy that says less is more.
Less is more.
I truly believe that. And if you come into my personal space, you would see like everything. Like I don't buy a lot of groceries. Like I don't buy a lot of clothes. I don't buy a lot of furniture. Like less is more. So that means that's less for me to do, right?
Yeah.
Using up my energy, my time, less money being spent. So I can now take those funds and put it into things that really matter, not just temporary things that I'm going to either end up throwing away or gotta clean or, just wasting time with it. So I love that. And I think if people really started understanding the power of simplicity, it will help them be able to bring that balance and flow into their lives when we learn, because really simplicity is just letting go. Letting go of how you thought it should be, or how maybe our moms did it, or how we saw it done growing up. Just letting go, letting go of all of these ideas of what we think life should look like. So I love that, honey. That's the key. Listen, we could stay on the let it go.
But and it's for me, I am not a hoarder when it comes to things per se, but I'm a visionary.
Yeah.
That's the challenge.
Yeah. So the challenge, how do you manage your mental health in terms of the balance of letting things go, prioritize. I know you mentioned you write things down, you like to plan, but like what are some other things you do to really like manage your mental health?
See, that question can be answered differently in different seasons of your life. I am in a season of my life right now where some things have, transpired within my family over the past year and a half. So I'll answer that differently than if I was to answer it 2 years ago or next year.
Right.
But my answer this year is, how do I balance my mental health? Definitely pray.
Yes.
I'm in the process of letting a lot of stuff go, and which feels great.
Yeah.
And it all falls on personality too, because when you are speaking, that's who you are. That's your personality. You have a calm demeanor, right? I'm hype.
Yes. Yes. You high energy. Yes.
I have a lot of energy, and it's crazy because I'm an introvert and I'm an extrovert, but that's who God made me, because we're all teachers, but not we're all teachers, but I know that's your gift as well, because I can tell, but that's the gift that God gave me. But I have the energetic type, I wish I look at my friends that's calm, I'd be like, I wish I could be like that, but I am who I am. So the simplicity, and I'll get back to the mental health, but the simplicity part of it for me is a challenge when it comes to everything just one of this and one of that, because I'm a problem solver. Right. So in my brain, if I see some problems, I'm going to create like 5 different solutions for it. And I'm going to try to create something that's going to fix them 5, where you may create one or don't create nothing at all and just let it go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when it comes to mental health, being like that in this phase that I'm in right now, it feels good to let it go. I lost a lot. Anyway, I lost a lot within the past year and a half. Right. So this is a new way of life that I'm living right now, but it's a blessing. I put a Facebook post. Actually, I did a Facebook Live the other day, and I put on there, oh gosh, I'm gonna jack it up, but it was something in a manner of, your gift is going to bring you trouble or something like that. But I believe that the gift that we are given sometimes is trouble and is some shaking up, because God is trying to do something new.
Yes.
He's trying to get us out of our old ways.
Come on.
So I'm in a totally different new environment and situation that I'm used to, but it's a good thing, because I'm changing and good things are going to come out of it. So to answer your question directly, how do I balance my mental health? And I'll say in this season, it's just letting things go. Always write things down and just seeing things in a different perspective. The hardest thing to do, especially when you get past like 20s, 30s, 40s, is to change your mindset. I'll say 30s, 40s, is to change your mindset and see yourself different than what you were. Because sometimes we can operate in the same old habits all the time and our life never changes. But because I'm the type of person, I want certain things in my life to change. Let's go, God. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing today? Right. How are we going to balance this? Because I can't worry. There it is. I had to talk myself to get to answer you properly. I can't worry. That's how I balance worry. I can't worry about what's going on around me.
It is so funny how God just literally dropped that to your remembrance, because as you were speaking, what came to my mind is when we learn how to let go, that means we are walking out of fear and walking more by faith. Because when we are in a state of fear, we have this way about us that tries to control and make sure things work according. And like you said, God will literally not allow things to work out and go according to our plan, because not only is he changing us, but he wants us to draw closer to him. And sometimes those things keep us distracted and busy and all over the place, and we're not properly prioritizing prayer, like you said, meditating, getting in his presence, because that's where mental health begins. you
It
know?
does.
And
It
once
does.
we get that in order, everything else will work itself out because
Yep.
honestly, we don't really know what to do. As a visionary myself, honey, I will conjure up a plan and a blueprint. Do you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I will conjure up a plan and a blueprint for everybody's life.
Yep.
You know,
Except yours.
girl, like real talk. But I realized that that was still stemming from a place of fear and control. And so I had to
That's
just
good.
learn to let go. Like, Lord, I am going to pray. I am going to, you know, encourage. I'm going to do my part, but I'm not getting in the way and trying to figure out the results.
And and it's so good you said that, because control, that comes from not trusting.
Come on, Candra. Yes.
But the not trusting comes from not seeing.
Right.
See, I can see you, right? And I can, from what I've seen, I can trust you.
Yes.
I can see my children, and from what I know from them, I can trust them. But see, we can't physically see God.
Come on.
So sometimes that doubt can come in and be like, I know you real, God. I know I go to church. I know the Bible's here, but are you real? Well, I'm gonna just take care of this. And if you're real, you're gonna come in and help me. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, I'm not gonna take care of this, I'm gonna let you do it.
And just
So
rest. Yeah. I'm gonna just simply rest in you. And that's
yeah,
the ultimate place that he wants us to come to, is learning how to be totally dependent
that's true.
on him through our trusting in what we see, what we don't see, but we have his word. And that's all the evidence that we really need, That was really good. We got to move because we'll sit here. The more the Lord reveal, we'll just keep
it's like,
talking.
yeah, because you bounce off of each other. It's like, wait a minute, I got a revelation off of that. Yeah.
Yes. So who inspires you to keep your priorities in order?
Ooh, my little one.
Yes.
Definitely my little one.
Because
as moms, we want to see the best for I would say my older one too, but we want to see the best for our children. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think too, my future, because my people are depending on me to create a bright future.
Come on.
My mother, my children, the people that God put in my life for me to coach and teach. Yeah. So, that's who really inspires me, I would say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they give you that strength to know that no matter what is going on, whether it be personally or professionally, you still have a vision. You still have to stay focused because they are looking to you to be that one in your family to change y'all's story. Like, put y'all in a better place, right? Yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But I'm learning, like, at the end of the day, you can only do what you can do.
That's it.
Everything falls under a mindset. I don't care how hard you work. I don't care how much hustle you have. If your mindset, so I feel like you got to work on your mindset first.
That's it. That's where it all flows from. A lot of people, like a revelation came to me a couple of days ago. I think I was just in my kitchen cooking, and I believe the Lord was showing me the difference between a person who hustles and a person who builds a business. It's the mindset, because anybody can make money, but not everybody can build a sustainable business, because it takes a different mindset. And so it dawned on me, I'm like, dang, if you want to learn how to hustle, I ain't your girl. Like, like, I'm not your girl, because we got to work on our mind, things that have impacted us, from our past, even our present trauma, our disappointments, like all of that plays a part in our perspective and in our mindset. So
that's so true. It is so true, because and sometimes you don't realize how jacked up your mindset is until you're put in certain situations.
Candra.
Because when you're operating, I'm speaking for myself, when you're operating in a certain capacity, I always hustled because I was a single mom at 15. I was a young mom at 15. But the who God made me, I was always a natural born leader. I
Yeah.
was born to be an entrepreneur. I just could
Yeah.
not keep a 9 to 5 to save my life. It just
Me
wasn't in me.
neither.
You either?
Nope.
So that's who God made me. So back then, like I was 17 making $1,000 a week back then.
Wow.
I had my own apartment at 18, never went back. So that's the life that I lived. So I was always responsible, but I knew I always had that little mouth to feed.
Yeah.
I don't know if I didn't have a child back then, would I have been a hustler? I don't know. Maybe,
Right.
maybe not.
Right.
But because I had that mouth to feed and God gave me the gift of doing hair and writing, I used to write, but the writing part came now, but the hair, that was my life. Like people that meet me now don't even know I've been licensed for almost 30 years. They don't know I did hair for like 25, 24 years straight, like straight doing nothing else. Like literally just standing behind a chair doing hair for 20 something years. That's what afforded me the opportunity to live the way I did, buy my homes, buy my cars, keep my son in great schools, travel, so I was just always behind a chair, curling, shampooing. That was my hustle because I knew I had to raise my child. So now when you get to a place where, you start hearing hustling versus actually sitting down and building a business, it takes a whole nother mindset.
It does.
You know what I mean?
It does.
And you're right, because hustle only lasts for so long.
Right. And anybody can do it.
Anybody.
Right.
Well, actually not anybody. Because you got some people that don't even know how. Well, actually, you know what? Yeah, anybody. You're right.
You're right. Right.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, I mean, like selling a piece of candy or just, like anything can take on the form of a hustle.
A hustle.
Right. But it takes a different mindset to really build a business.
Build a business.
I love what you're doing in terms of teaching moms, because you're helping them impart that wisdom into their children early on. And so that is a form of a legacy, when you're teaching them how to develop a sustainable product and build something around that. I love that.
Now, see, maybe this is a coaching moment that maybe you can have online that will help others after they hear it. So for me, I have my 2 businesses. I have the Gabriel Ian brand, which what you just said, me helping moms. And then I have my personal coaching business where I help moms to get their story out, to tell their story and put it in a book.
Yeah.
Even though they seemingly work simultaneously, it gets challenging.
Okay.
Because I'm a firm believer on focus on one thing until successful, right? But because they are 2 different entities, sometimes trying to operate them, to build them, especially in the world we live in today online, can be very challenging because somebody is not going to get the same amount of attention.
Right.
Right. So that's one thing I do sometimes struggle with, because both of them need to be building at the same level, but sometimes it can be a little challenging. And then, I used to teeter-totter back and forth on which one, and we talked about letting go, which one should I let go or put to the back burner until later? And then I'm like, no, I can't let that go because they need me over there.
Right.
And then it's like, but this is not getting the juice it needs. So that's one thing that I'm working on figuring out. So yeah.
I get what you're saying, because even in my situation, I have my nonprofit and I have my enterprise. So I do my coaching and consulting under the enterprise, but under our nonprofit, that's more outreach, resources, just like helping families that are in need, pointing them in the right direction to be able to get whatever support is needed at the time. But they're very similar, and I always find a way to align them, because I'm still one person with 2 missions, but one vision.
Yeah.
Right? So with both of my businesses, they have the same vision, but my mission on how we accomplish it are different, because it's a different demographic of people.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? So they may not be ready for Candra Ward, but they might be at a stage for Gabriel, that brand, and they will graduate into being able to transition. So it's just, being consistent.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
It's being consistent. There's no volume or no pace that each brand is running at, but I'm consistent with both of them.
And see, sometimes the consistency can't happen when it comes to situations like that. And I say can't because of the clarity. See, consistency can't happen without clarity.
That's true.
In most situations, because you can be consistently unclear, but you know,
right. But effective
and
consistent comes with clarity.
It does.
Right.
It does.
Right,
so yeah, that's good. That's good.
Wow. That's awesome. So what books are you reading right now?
I am reading The Power of the Subconscious Mind. I'm listening to The Power of the Subconscious Mind.
Okay.
And then the next one is The Science of Getting Rich.
And what is that about?
I haven't read that one yet, but
so
the power of the power of the subconscious mind is phenomenal. Like, my God, it's teaching you how we hold ourselves back by our mindset. Everything is mindset.
Right.
How the subconscious is the conscious is the right now. Okay. But the subconscious is the one holding on, like, oh, I'm about to mess it up. But it's the one that you really need, because the conscious is showing you all the fear and what's going to happen, and things like that. But the subconscious is the one that's saying, no, this is, it's working everything out for you. And a lot of times we just follow the conscious. Yeah. But it's really good the way he breaks it down, even when it comes to healing ourselves. Of course, we know God is the healer, but how we think and what we speak, just how we see, he does a lot of comparisons. These two people came from the same neighborhood. This one made it, and this one's never left, and they never made it. Why? Mind. Yeah. The mindset. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a really good book.
Wow, that's awesome. I gotta check that out. And you said you're listening. That means you're doing the audio version.
Yeah, because I just don't right now. At this stage, I don't have time to actually sit down and read right now, because my days are really, packed. Which prayerfully, hopefully by the end of this month, they'll lessen down. But I just had a lot with school starting back. Yeah. We live in a different place. So I just, trying to get everything together. Yeah.
But you getting it in. That's all. That's the balancing act. You are doing what you still need to do for your own self-care, for your own health, and balancing purposes, but it just looks different for everybody.
And I'm so happy you said that. And the reason why, because I think society has a tendency to think everybody is supposed to operate the same way. And if you don't operate the way I operate, then you're doing it wrong. And there's something you're not doing, and blah. No. This is where I'm at right now. This is where you are right now. I may look ahead of you. You may look ahead of me. It has nothing to do about who's ahead of who. But if that's how you want to look at it, we all enter our own race at a certain pace. Yeah. The tortoise and the hare. That's right.
They got on the same place, but they got there differently and at a different pace.
And see, you may have gotten there faster, and your success, whatever you consider success, may seem like, you've done something, and this person is back there, may be like, well, what are they doing? But see, they're getting built up while they're trailing along. You know what I mean? So when they get to their destination, I just believe that, and I like what you said, because everybody hits it differently. My balance may look different. My balance may be busier than your balance. Right. It doesn't mean something is wrong. It just means the calling that God may have on my life, not better or not worse. It's just some things extra I may have to do. Right. So that's just how I like to look at life.
Yes. And I just hope what we're saying really sets somebody free from the heaviness and the condemnation that comes with, because I can remember, the enemy just making me feel so condemned for years. And I walked with this guilt and this heaviness because I wasn't, quote unquote, doing it right. And
that's
the Lord set me free. There was this peace that just came over me, knowing that I'm good enough to God. Like he's already accepted me. If I say, you know what, I'm putting it all down today, I ain't doing nothing else, I am good enough. And so when you have that perspective, it makes finding that balance
Yes.
easier. Like for example, we're taught, oh, we got to get up in the morning and pray and spend time with God. And when that doesn't happen, now you somewhere feeling guilty or, as if you didn't get it right. But God is like, just flow. If you ain't get up early, find time while you're driving, while you're walking, while you're in the shower. Just make me just give me some of your time. It doesn't have to be at a set time, but just make me the priority. And that brings such a freedom,
I'm going to cut you off. I'm so happy you said that. It's so funny you said that because literally just this morning, that thought crossed my path. So
Wow.
I have a calendar and I set on my board, I'm looking at it now. I get up at 5. I've been getting up at 3 lately, but I get up at 5 every morning and I have on there prayer, workout, go live, because I try to go live at 6. So I pray at 5.
You go live early.
I try, but I haven't really been keeping up with it. I'm like, Lord, I really want to be consistent with that. And I'm like, and this morning, I said, God, what if I just threw all these whiteboards in the trash?
Listen, throw them all away.
I said, what if I just threw all these whiteboards in the trash? And then to your point, what you were saying about you got to pray at this time. I got up this morning, I said, God, I'm sorry if I just jumped up and went to my to-do list. And you know what I felt in my spirit when I said that? I felt in my spirit, this is ministry. This is talking to me right now, because you have to run this business in ministry. You got to get things in order right now, because if you don't have certain things in order, it's going to be hard to show others who I am through you, because you'll be out of order. So that just gave me some peace and ease, because I got straight up before I prayed and I went straight to the whiteboard. All right, let me get this off, because I wanted my day to be orderly. So when you said that, it just brought that memory back.
Yes, and he doesn't mind, because he knows your heart. He knows what you're doing is unto his glory. Yes. And he knows that you are the center. Even if you don't get a chance to pray until you go to bed at night, because you got up early and just had to get on it. It's okay.
But see, I'm talking to God all day long anyway. So
that part.
I'm literally talking to him all day long anyway. It's just certain times I may not sit down and be like, okay, God, so right now, but I'm talking to him all day long.
Because we're in relationship with him.
And I think, and not to take it off topic, but I grew up in church. I was the one, my mom was always a Bible school teacher. So we was always in church on Sunday, Wednesday nights. She had class on Tuesday night. So when you grow up with that, you got to do this at this time, this at that time. It's kind of like you get older and start seeing like, dang, how it's supposed to be.
And religion, has done that. But what religion brings about is stress. And this is why I'm so big on self-care, because self-care brings rest. We are in intimate relationship with God, not the works, but relationship. We can rest in him, because we know whether we do a million things or we do one thing, God loves us the same.
Regardless.
And that's where the balance and the peace is. So I work from a place of rest.
That's good.
I flow from that place, not the other way around, like we were taught.
No, seriously.
Yeah, that's real talk. I'm telling you.
That's good.
Wow, this was good. So what do you have coming up? What are you working on? How can people connect with you?
Well, I have, so I would, you heard of Bronner Brothers?
Yes.
I was supposed to teach at Bronner Brothers last week, but I was not able to make it. I am actually getting honored in Florida. I forgot that it's called the Beauty something by Mandy Fresh. I'm getting honored, but I'm not able to make that, but she's going to mail me my certificate.
Awesome.
I do have to go to Columbia, South Carolina Sunday, because I have to teach there, and then I'll come right back. But what I have personally for my coaching, so I do have a free masterclass coming up called The Purposed and Paid Author.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so that's going down not this weekend, but next weekend. And following that, I have a book creation boot camp where I'm teaching people how to tell their story, write their ebook, turn their ebook into a paperback book, and then turn that into digital products so they can have the income and impact. So I'm super excited about that. And
I
that's what,
love it.
and I'm really focusing on getting Gabriel Ian's book out. So I've already made my list to do for September. It's the masterclass boot camp and getting Gabriel Ian's book out.
Okay.
So, if you're on here and you know that you were called to be an author, or you're not even sure if you were called to be an author, but you know that you want to tell your story, get your story out, and you want to make money from it, and you want to create impact in the world, then definitely register for my free masterclass. You can go to candraward.com. It's the very first button as soon as you get there. So it's candraward.com, and you can register for the free masterclass right there. It's called the Purpose and Paid Author.
Awesome, awesome. So, like with the boot camp, will that be a one-time thing or it'll be an online
It's 30
course?
days. It's 30 days. So it's live interaction online. It's not a course. It's
Okay,
actually a program. So a course is pre-recorded, but this
right.
won't be pre-recorded. I'll be talking to you direct. You'll be having homework, and then it's really 8 weeks, but it's 30 days live. And then the following month, the following 4 weeks is going to be in the Facebook group. So that's where you have questions that you need answered.
Okay.
That's where we're going to do writing sessions so you can get your book complete. By week 8, you should have your ebook in your hand. Well, not physically in your hand,
Awesome.
because the
Right,
ebook,
right.
but your
So
ebook
in
should
your
be done.
possession,
Yeah.
right?
It'll be
Oh,
done.
wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Awesome. Okay. So I'll be sure to post your website and what you have going on in the description below. And again, thank you. This was a refreshing and
It
enriching
was.
time. I love to come together with other visionaries and women and moms who are just
Hmm.
literally trailblazing for the glory of God and
Yes.
healing and doing the work within as we go. One of my favorite scriptures uh, talks about as they went, they were
Hmm.
healed. And I love that because when we are in need of healing and restoration, right? Oftentimes we think we don't need to be doing anything or we need to put our life on pause until that happens. And that's not how it works.
No, ma'am.
God wants us to keep moving. And as we go, we are being healed. So
Yep.
this was really, really
It
good.
was.
Thank you again for being a part of the Balancing Act. And I am just looking forward to more of what God is going to do in us, through us, with us, and all of that good stuff. And so until the next Balancing Act, God bless you and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us. We hope that you were inspired. Be sure to subscribe and stay connected for our upcoming restoration retreat, Realign, happening on November 12th, 2022.